Hello everyone and welcome to Big Rock Moto. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's video is going to be a little bit more casual, a little bit more conversational than some of my typical videos. But if you're looking to outfit your adventure or dual sport motorcycle with luggage, and you're on a budget, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to go through some of what I think are the best options for budget-oriented adventure and dual sport motorcycle luggage for 2025 and beyond. So I do have a favor to ask. If you're shopping for any of this stuff, please use my affiliate shopping links, which I'll have below. I'll have all the products listed below. I also have a link tree, which you can bookmark that, and then anytime you're shopping, you can use that to make your purchases. So I do get small commissions from most of the stuff you see here if you end up buying anything. So that's my disclaimer, but it helps support the channel, and I hope you'll consider doing that. All right, I want to start off by talking about budget gear compared to expensive gear. So I've got a Moto backcountry pannier here, the newest version. And I want to talk about, why does a set of these cost over $1,000, whereas these Rigg Gear Hurricane bags are under $200 or 1/5 of the price. So there's a few things going on. Part of it is when you buy a high-end brand of anything, partly you're paying for the name, right? And that's just brutally honest right here. But you're also paying for, in this case, with like a Moto bag, if you start to look at the quality of the construction, the materials, the engineering that goes into it, the craftsmanship, the buckles, the straps, how everything works, I mean, it's really built to stand the test of time. It's over-engineered, it's heavy, it's super heavy duty, it's very easy to use. You don't have straps everywhere. Like you notice these bags, you've got like just so much strap management going on. Moto has really pared that down. You've also got this, I call this like a beaver tail or an area here where you can stuff things in. A lot more features. Is it worth paying 5 times as much for a set of these as these? I can't really answer that for you. You are getting a better quality and a longer lasting bag with something like this or a giant loop or other premium item. But ultimately you're going to have to decide. But today's video is going to not be about the Moto stuff. It's going to be about the budget stuff. All right, so let's get into some of my specific recommendations for budget-oriented luggage. So we'll start by covering some rack-mounted soft panniers, and then we'll go and talk about some of the rackless systems. We'll talk about the pros and cons of the different types of luggage systems that we've got here. I've also got some tank bags and tail bags that I want to highlight. I want to start off with what I think might be, oops, sorry about that. That was the quick release plate, which I'll talk about in a second. I want to start off with what I think might be the best value I've ever seen in an adventure or any, I don't want to say adventure, but just a waterproof soft pannier for motorcycles. This is the Rigg Gear Hurricane saddlebags. You can get a set of these, believe it or not, for $190. That's crazy that they're able to sell them for that price. So let's talk a little bit about these Hurricane bags. So these bags have a capacity combined of about 55 liters. Now when we're talking about capacity, you see them quote the liters and storage. I am always very suspect of that, and I feel like if I look at 2 bags, like this Tusk is rated for a higher capacity than this, but they look the same size to me, and when I'm packing them, they feel like about the same size. So I'm always very dubious about those quoted capacities, and I kind of wonder how they're measured. Anyway, that's just a side note to maybe take that sometimes with a grain of salt. Anyway, so getting back to these are cool because they're a fully waterproof vinyl exterior. So they don't rely on like an inner bag like a lot of the other bags do to be waterproof. So that's pretty cool. Also, another thing about these bags is you see they've got this release here for the air. They've got an air valve, and you can compress these and strap them down. So when you're not using the full capacity, you can kind of suck them into your racks to get a narrower setup and to take some of that bulk away. So that's pretty cool. These also come with an inner bag for, let me see, I think I've got it in here. They come with an inner bag that is really helpful. It's not waterproof, it's just so you can, if you go to your motel room or you're packing your stuff, you can pack it in this bag, and then this just slips inside the pannier just like so. With these bags, they come with like a bottle holder attached to them. You can also get, they have MOLLE attachments, everywhere, so you can attach whatever accessory bags you want to carry more stuff with you and overpack like I always do. So pretty cool. You can mount these because of the straps. You're going to find with these and with the Tusk bags I'm about to show, you can mount them to just about any luggage rack with the straps that are provided. But I also want to show you the quick release plates here in a second. All right, so here's the quick release plates that Rigg Gear has developed. So the thing that's cool about these, now they're a little pricey, I think $240 for a set of these, which sounds like kind of a lot, but if you buy the quick release plates and the set of Hurricane bags, you're around that $430 mark, which is, I think, pretty reasonable for a set of quick release waterproof panniers with all the features that these have. So the cool thing about these is you can get all different adapters to fit different size racks, so different diameter racks. And if you have an offset rack, like a lot of the BMWs or other bikes, they have the brackets that go on here that will fit that. So they have adapters to fit about anything. So this will clip on, and I'll put some B-roll video here from Rigg Gear. This will clip on to just about any racks. You attach the saddlebag here to the plate, and then you can quickly take the bags off and on the bike using this quick release plate. You could also move them between different motorcycles, although you might have to adjust the location of the mounts if you're moving them between different pannier racks. I mean, if you want to talk about cost, for around $400 for this setup with the quick release plates, a set of the Moscow bags I talked about earlier, which I do really like. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I love my Moscow bags, but $1,100, $1,200 plus for a set of quick release Moscow backcountries versus $400. So we're really coming in at a third of the price or something of the Moscow setup, just saying. And it's kind of cool. You can, these aren't too heavy, and you can mount them just about any rack. So I think these are pretty cool. Now also from the same company, Rigg Gear, if you don't want to run pannier racks to save weight, and we'll get into the pros and cons out here in a second, they make the Hurricane bags in a dual sport version that don't require pannier racks. I'll put some pictures and images of that here, but for $125, those are a screaming deal because they're a waterproof exterior saddlebag. They are 28 liters, good for mid-size adventure bikes, small dual sports bikes like that. And that is maybe the best value in adventure luggage that I've ever seen for a waterproof strap-on bag that you can use on a lot of different bikes for $125. That's crazy. Some other things from Rigg Gear that I also want to highlight. I've been using these for many years. And by the way, this company, Nelson Rigg, which they brand Rigg Gear for the adventure stuff, I've been using their stuff for decades now, long before I got into the YouTube stuff. And they've been really solid stuff. They're not the highest quality or the highest end stuff, but they've produce decent quality at a really budget price point, and I really appreciate that. They also have really good warranty. I think it's a lifetime warranty on their stuff, which is pretty amazing. So really kind of cool company. I know some of the people over there who work there at that company. This is the tail bag. So this is the dual sport Hurricane tail bag. They also make an adventure Hurricane tail bag. I had the previous versions of these, which were more of a nylon or a regular Cordura construction, which were not waterproof. I've upgraded to these new ones that have a fully waterproof exterior with a storm flap here for the zipper. I like these bags a lot. I can strap a tail bag on a bike just if I don't need panniers for just going for a day ride or something. Strap one of these on. I've got both sizes. These are really easy to attach to almost any motorcycle and work really well. This is the Hurricane tank bag. I like this tank bag. I used it on the Northern California BDR. It's not my favorite tank bag in the world, to be honest. It's a little finicky getting in and out with the storm flap on this zipper. But what I do like about it is that simplicity. It's waterproof exterior, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about a rain shower getting all your stuff wet. And it mounts on just about any bike. And it's got the sloped design here, so you can put it on. It really fits well on adventure and dual sport bikes. All right, I want to talk about these. These are Tusk Pilot soft panniers. So they're $225. They give you a total capacity of 70 liters. Now that's interesting because it seems to be smaller than the Rigg Gear, which is quoted at 55 liters per set. So again, I'm not really sure what's going into the capacity measurements. I guess I'll just have to take their word for it. So these, again, they're 225 bucks. This is going to be a 2-layer bag. So as you can see, the exterior on the Pilots, and this is the 2nd generation Pilot. I tested and reviewed also the 1st generation Pilot years ago. They've made improvements with like replaceable straps and better construction, more attachment points. They've really improved these, but kept the price about the same. So they've got the non-waterproof exterior, and then they have an interior. Here, I'll show you. They've got an interior, undo the straps here. This is where the budget bags start to show, kind of like, it's a lot more finicky to get into these than like something like the Moscow bags, which is a little bit more slick. But if I undo all these straps, then I can go ahead and show you the inner waterproof bag. So for waterproofing, these rely on the inner liner bag here. So you can see here it says Defender 35 liters. So it's kind of nice. You can pack this, stuff it in here, and then you'll be good to go. Now, of course, you've got all sorts of accessories, bottle holders, other bags you can add to these, because like most luggage, they've got a MOLLE attachment points. These don't have as many MOLLE attachment points as the Rigg Gear bags do, but they still do have on the front and, or no, just on one side, but there's other straps you can attach things to. Now you can mount the Tusk bags to, again, just about any tubular rack. Because they're not using like any bracket or anything, it's universal because you've just got straps that you'll go ahead and attach to just about anything. I would just say when you're doing that, make sure you get things really nice and snug and secure, and you're going to have to stop a couple times a day to make sure that if things are shifting around that you get those straps nice and tight. The advantage sometimes of the quick release systems, whether you're talking about the Moscow wedge system or this Rigg Gear plate or any of the other ones, is they tend to stay in place a bit better because they're more solidly attached to those pannier racks than just the strap system. But once you get your straps dialed in and adjusted for your load and you keep them cinched down, you're going to be just fine. Now, I do want to mention that when you're shopping at Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and a lot of you here watching this channel in the USA, which is the bulk of my audience for this type of video, you are shopping there because they just have everything and they have amazing shipping and customer service. If you're shopping there for luggage, take note that they do have package deals. So like for a lot of bikes, KTM 690s and 890s, DR650s, KLRs, DRZ400s, you can get like the pannier racks and a set of luggage, whether you want Pilots, whether you want the upgraded Olympus bags, which I have another video on, whether you want the Rigg Gear bags. It's a good savings if you get the pannier racks and the bags together. So check that out on the website and make sure you don't miss those discounts there. Just a quick shout out for the Tusk Olympus tank bags. I've been using these ever since they came out. You've seen these on so many of my bike builds and my personal bikes. This is the small one. They make a larger one. They have tan and black. I like the glove holder in the top. It's fantastic for putting your gloves in when you're at a stop so your gloves don't get blown away. You've got organizer pockets. They're not waterproof, but they do come with a rain cover. And I've had amazing luck with these bags. They're very, very good. All right, so let's get into the rackless, the more traditional rackless, or some people call these throw over or U-shaped. What do people call these? Well, they're rackless bags, so they don't need pannier racks. They will just drape over the sides of your bike. So what are the pros and cons? These are a Tusk Excursion that I'm showing you here. What are the pros and cons of rackless versus rack-mounted panniers? I think I did a video about that. I've done so many over the years, but let me break it down for you really simply. You'll save weight without having metal pannier racks. There'll also be a narrower setup, tighter to the bike, closer into the bike, which preserves your center of gravity better, your center of balance, and preserves the bike's handling a little bit more than having the weight way out on the sides on a pannier rack. They're going to be a little less expensive because, again, you're not buying the racks to go with it. And they're, light, a lot less weight too, because you're not having the pannier racks on your bike. What are some downsides to the rackless style bags? Whether you're looking at these Tusk bags, Giant Loop bags, Moscow Moto Reckless 40 or 80, the downsides are they're more difficult to pack because you're packing a tube shape and it's not as easy to get stuff in and out as a more rectangular shaped pannier. Another downside is, it's going to rub up against your bodywork and completely destroy your bodywork over time because all that dirt just abrasion against your bodywork panels. So that's a downside. You could also have, you got to make sure to use the heat shield that comes with the bags that you get so you don't burn a hole in the bags because they could be sitting up against your exhaust. They don't have the capacity of the larger panniers as well, so we'll talk about the Excursion and the Highland here in a second, but you're definitely giving up some capacity with the rackless throwover type setup versus a traditional rack-mounted pannier. Let's get into the specific of the Excursion and the Highland. So if you like the look of like the Moscow Reckless 40 and 80, which are incredible bags, and I have sets of those out in the shop, but you kind of have a problem with the price of those, which I totally understand, then what Tusk has done, what Rocky Mountain have done, is in the past couple of years, they brought out the Highland and the Excursion rackless systems, which are designed to compete with those Moscow Reckless bags, also with the Giant Loop, what do they call it, the Great Basin and the Coyote. So all kind of the same kind of idea. So the Excursion are, they are 30 liters, so they're 15 liters a side. The smaller, this is the smaller setup. The Excursion is more for like dual sport bikes or smaller adventure bikes where you don't need to pack as much. They're 15 liters a side, so 30 liters for the main bags, and then you can add top bags like this of different sizes. This is a 10 liter, they make bigger and smaller ones to increase your capacity there, and they're very affordably priced from Tusk. The Highland, which I've also used and tested, Highland X2, they are a 50 liter setup with the main bag, so 25 per side, and then you can add different top bags as well. From price points, these Excursions are a pretty good deal. They're $200 for the base system. The Highland is $379 for the base system, so quite a big increase to go up to that bigger capacity. They do both come with heat shields and they come with accessories that you might want, but then you can add bags to, you can add, see they've got MOLLE attachments on the back there. You can add accessory bags. You can also, of course, expand the capacity with bags up on the top. I really do think that Tusk has done a good job with these Highland and Excursion bags. I've used both of these sets, both systems on multiple bikes over the past few years. They've held up just fine. There's more straps to deal with. They're not quite as well engineered or as well constructed, of course, as those higher end items. Because again, these are coming in at those budget price points. But I think for the average adventure rider, these are really good enough to get you by for 3 years, 5 years. If you take care of it, who knows? But they're probably not like a 10 or 15 year product like maybe the Moscow Luggage would be. But I do think they've done a good job giving you what you need at a good price point. All right, well, I know you have a lot of options when you're shopping for luggage for your adventure or dual sport or even your street or touring motorcycle, but I hope this video was useful in showing you some of the more budget-friendly options that I've tested over the past few years that I can endorse for you. And I don't endorse stuff if I don't personally test it and think it's really worthy of me recommending it. So if you're going to buy any of the stuff here or any other stuff I've mentioned, I'll always have those affiliate links down below. It's a way to help support this channel, to make this channel financially sustainable. That affiliate income is a huge part of making this happen. So I really appreciate you shopping using my links. If you have questions or comments, put that down below. I'll get back to you. Besides that, ride safe, and I'll see you out there.